Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to this video. So very soon I am embarking on a project where I will be discussing the 12 ascendant signs. The 12 signs as your rising sign or your ascendant. So before that, I want to lay some groundwork. Okay, so we understand the ascendant. So the ascendant is the degree of the zodiac rising on the eastern side of the horizon at the moment of your birth. Okay, and of course you understand that the sign it falls in is your rising sign. So the rising sign also happens to be your first house. And the first house is probably the most you part of the chart. So when we talk about the ascendant, let us understand one thing, that the chart has all these divisions and there are 12 houses and 12 signs, but the first house or your rising sign is probably the most you part of your natal chart. So it is of course how you look, how you gesture, how people perceive you when you walk into that room. Okay, this is the planetary joy here is of Mercury's, and this the ascendant or the first house is oftentimes known as the helm. Okay, and Mercury is the helmsman, and the ship, the main part is the ship, the helm is the steering wheel. So if you understand that symbol, you understand that the ascendant is like the steering wheel of your life. It is the Jungian mask you wear to interact, to interface with society. It is you in fullness. Okay, now not only it is about the self. The self is such a large concept, right? It's your character. That also is your rising sign. A lot about your character is known immediately from your rising sign. Because remember, people see your rising sign first, nothing else. So oftentimes it is thought that the 10th house comes across, so the midheaven comes across first. But I would say the ascendant comes across to others in a room first. Okay, when you walk in, they notice that side of you. So health, you can understand health through your ascendant or rising. Okay, constitution of your body. Okay, the frequency of your body. Okay, of your character, of yourself. It's like the rising sign, the frequency you give out. Everything gives out frequency. Okay, like even this lipstick gives out frequency. Okay, my tarot cards give out frequency. So the rising sign is sort of like the frequency you emit. That, okay, here am I, here I am, look at me, this is me. Okay, so that's why it's such an important part of who you are. Okay, it is sort of like the animating principle. Okay, that animates your existence or brings your body into some kind of animation. Okay, we can call the first house or the ascendant rising sign as the animating principle behind your whole personality. Okay, it is psychological as well. To truly understand, it is not only does it speak of the sort of the spirit that animates you, your psyche, but also the spirit that animates your physical body. Okay, a lot of who you are can be known through your first house or your rising sign. Okay, now another thing is, this is an angular house, of course. So the first house is a very important part. Okay, very important part. And if you have planets in the first house, they will show their influence. Okay, they will show their influence. For instance, if someone has a Venus in fall in Virgo on the first, okay, on her ascendant, then she is going to be beautiful. Maybe just not as beautiful as say Pisces Venus on the ascendant, but very beautiful nevertheless. And she can always cultivate that side of Venus. Okay, if she wants to better herself, if she wants to be more Venusian, she can also always cultivate that side. Planets on the first house give you that power, that okay, here I am, look at me. Of course you have to look at whether it's a day chart, it's a night chart, who's your ascendant lord and all that. The first house ruler is your ascendant lord, and because Mercury finds its helm, or finds is Mercury is a helmsman, so you always have to look at connections. For Virgos and Geminis, it becomes very organic, because Mercury, their ascendant lord, has joy in the first house. So if you have a well-placed Mercury in the first, say in Gemini, it's a good position. It's nice, okay? And now, so of course you have to understand that when I spoke about health, you were probably thinking that how can the first house or the ascendant show us health? It is the sixth house of health, right? But no, the first house or your ascendant or your rising is really the key to your health. Okay, once you understand, okay, these are the drawbacks, these are the organs that it rules. This is what I can do. Say a decadent Venus in Taurus conjunct the moon in the first, so you could be prone to emotional eating. Always remember, if you have tons of planets in the first house, they all are vying for popularity. So depending upon, of course, if you have uh, a day chart, Jupiter becomes a bigger benefic than Venus. He blesses you more. And if you have a night chart, Venus blesses you more. So, it all depends on that, but it is really the animating principle that is your rising sign. So understanding each of the signs as the basically the plug-in into the matrix. If you really look at your ascendant, understand that it is how you are plugged into the matrix. Interestingly, a lot of esoteric schools believe that this round, the Sumerians actually started this belief that was later on taken by Alice Bailey and all, that all of this round, or this Manvantara as it is called, this round of incarnation, is actually from the womb of Cancer. So we are all, in a sense, operating as a Cancerian ascendant. Okay, and even interestingly, if you look at the Thema Mundi, or the hypothetical chart of the universe at the time of its inception, you will see that Cancer is also the rising here. So, but I must say, Cancer is one of the most dualistic signs as an ascendant. It's very dualistic. Okay, so now when you're looking at your rising sign, it is of course imperative to look at its lord. Okay, so for instance, you have an Aries ascendant. You have to look at Mars. If you have a Taurus ascendant, you're looking at Venus, okay, because she's really the key to how you will play out in the 3D world. So if you're Gemini, you're looking at Mercury. If you are the moon, you're looking at Cancer. Again, the Cancer rising, I said, is so contradictory, because the moon, okay, moves around the zodiac at the quickest. So this brings about tremendous fluctuations, and it can make some natives, Cancerian natives, very, very moody, full of contradictions that sometimes takes a lifetime to, put to rest. So it is the most prominent house, your first house. So understand the karma of your ascendant and watch my ascendant series that I will be embarking on shortly. Thank you.